Welcome back to Let's Talk Taxes, everyone.
Always great to be back.
Today we're diving into something that could be a real game changer for a lot of families out there.
Oh, yeah, definitely a big one.
We're talking about a potential boost to the child tax credit.
That's right.
And to help us unpack all of this, we're taking a look at a video we found over on YouTube from Money Instructor.
Great channel.
It is a great channel, and they do a really good job of breaking down some of the details of a proposal to increase the child tax credit to $5,000 per child.
$5,000.
Per child.
Wow, that's significant.
It is significant. I mean, just imagine that hitting your bank account every year.
It'd make a big difference for a lot of people.
Absolutely. And we're going to go beyond just the headlines here to explore what this could really mean for your family's finances.
Let's get into it.
All right, so before we jump into the exciting stuff, let's do a quick level set on the current child tax credit, just to make sure everyone's on the same page.
Sure, so as it stands right now, the child tax credit gives you up to $2,000 per qualifying child, and you claim that when you file your taxes each year.
Right, and I think we saw how impactful that assistance could be when they did the expanded child tax credit back in 2021.
Oh, absolutely.
Studies show that child poverty rates dropped significantly during that time.
It really highlights how important direct financial support can be.
It really does. And, sadly, when the expansion ended, we saw many of those gains kind of reversed,
Unfortunately.
which I think underscores why this new proposal is generating so much buzz.
For sure.
So let's get to the heart of it. Senator Josh Hawley has proposed increasing the child tax credit to $5,000 per child.
That's a big jump.
It's a huge jump. And not only that, there's talk of switching from that annual lump sum payment to monthly installments.
Oh, wow. So instead of getting the whole credit when you file your taxes, you could get a portion of it each month.
Exactly.
Now, that would be a game changer.
I mean, can you imagine that consistent support coming in throughout the year?
Oh, it would be huge for budgeting and just knowing you have that extra cushion every month.
Absolutely. And I think that's where this starts to feel really tangible for families.
Right.
Instead of this one big chunk of money at tax time, you'd have that predictable income to help manage expenses.
Exactly. It could help cover those unexpected costs that always seem to pop up, or even give families a chance to start saving a little bit.
Okay, so we've talked about the dollar amount, but what are some of the other key changes that are included in this proposal?
Well, one of the big ones is they're talking about letting parents claim the credit for newborns in the year they're born,
Oh, wow.
and even potentially during pregnancy.
I remember that detail from the Money Instructor video. It really stood out to me.
Yeah, it would be a big shift in how we support families right from the very start.
For sure. So it's not just about a bigger check. It's about expanding access.
Exactly, making sure the benefit reaches the families that need it most.
And speaking of access, the proposal also suggests changes to payroll taxes.
Now, this is important because it could allow more lower-income families to benefit from the credit.
So right now, there's a minimum income requirement to claim the full credit.
That's right.
But this proposal would change how payroll taxes work with the credit.
Essentially making it accessible to a wider range of working families, regardless of how much they owe in income taxes.
So it's about creating a more inclusive safety net that recognizes the challenges families face at all income levels.
Exactly. It's about making sure everyone has a chance to succeed.
Of course, any big proposal like this is going to have a price tag, and there are some concerns about the cost.
Yeah. Estimates suggest this plan could cost between $100 and $200 billion each year over the next 10 years.
Wow, so that's a significant chunk of change, and some lawmakers might see that as excessive.
Right, but on the other hand, some argue it's an investment that could pay off big time in the long run.
And the Money Instructor video pointed out some potential economic benefits.
Oh, definitely.
If families have more money, they're more likely to spend it in their communities, which can boost the economy overall.
Right, and there's research showing that lifting children out of poverty can lead to a more productive workforce down the line.
So it's not just a handout, it's an investment in our future.
And that's something worth considering.
Absolutely. Now let's circle back to those monthly payments for a minute, because I think that's where things get really interesting.
Definitely a game changer.
The 2021 expansion showed us that when families receive that regular support, they're better equipped to manage their money and even start saving.
Yeah, that peace of mind can be invaluable.
Knowing you have that extra cushion each month could really shift how families approach their finances.
It's about creating breathing room, both financially and emotionally.
Okay, so we've covered a lot of ground here. The current state of the child tax credit, the proposed increase to $5,000, the potential shift to monthly payments, and even some of the economic arguments for and against it. But what does this all really mean for families like yours?
That's the big question.
And that's what we'll be exploring in the next part of our deep dive, so stay tuned.
Welcome back to Let's Talk Taxes.
We just dove into the details of this proposed boost to the child tax credit.
Yeah, we covered a lot.
But now let's talk about what it could actually look like in your life.
Right, because at the end of the day, it's not just about numbers and policies.
Exactly. It's about real families and how this could make a difference.
Absolutely. So let's put ourselves in your shoes for a second.
Okay.
Imagine this proposal actually becomes law. What would an extra $5,000 per child mean for your family?
It's a big question.
It is.
And there's so many possibilities.
Right.
Would it mean finally catching up on those bills that have been piling up?
Or maybe starting a small emergency fund.
Oh, yeah, so you're better prepared for those unexpected expenses.
Exactly. Or maybe it would mean being able to invest in your children's future.
Like saving for college.
Right. Or extracurricular activities, or just giving them more opportunities.
I was really struck by some of the stories they shared in that money instructor video
Me too.
about how families used the expanded credit back in 2021.
Oh, yeah.
There were families who could finally afford healthy food every night.
That's huge.
Others who could enroll their kids in after-school programs.
And even some who were able to save for a down payment on a home.
I mean, it's amazing.
Those stories really show how powerful this kind of financial support can be.
It's not just about getting by.
It's about opening doors and creating possibilities.
And think about the ripple effect. Less financial stress.
Often means more time and energy to focus on your family.
And your own well-being.
Absolutely. It's about feeling more in control of your finances.
And being able to make choices that align with your family's goals.
Exactly. So let's get even more specific.
Okay.
Think about your monthly budget right now.
Okay.
If you were to get monthly installments of this expanded credit,
Potentially hundreds of dollars each month.
right, how would that change things for you?
Would it make those monthly bills feel a bit more manageable?
Could you finally cover those childcare costs?
Or make grocery shopping less stressful?
Maybe even tackle those home repairs you've been putting off.
It's about creating that breathing room, that sense of security,
Knowing you have that extra support coming in every month.
and that shift from constant stress to more stability.
It could have a huge impact on your quality of life.
For sure. But we do need to acknowledge that this is still a proposal.
Right.
And there are hurdles to overcome before it could become law.
It's going to be debated in Congress.
And there's always a chance it could be modified or even rejected.
That's the legislative process for you.
But the fact that this conversation is happening at all is a positive sign.
It is.
It shows that lawmakers are recognizing that families need support.
Especially with how the economy is right now.
And it gives us all a chance to be part of this important discussion.
Exactly. Stay informed about how things are progressing.
And make your voice heard.
Contact your elected officials.
Share your perspective.
Let them know how this could impact your family and your community.
It's about being an active participant in shaping these policies.
Your voice matters.
And who knows, maybe it could be the deciding factor.
Now, while we wait to see how this unfolds, let's talk about eligibility.
Okay, because even if this does pass, there's going to be specific criteria.
Right. Families will need to meet those to claim the full credit.
And that's where things can get a little tricky.
So it's important to stay up to date on the details.
Absolutely.
As we mentioned, the proposal aims to get rid of that minimum income requirement.
For working families.
Right. So more families would be eligible regardless of income as long as they meet the other requirements.
It's a big step towards making sure this support reaches more families who are struggling.
Absolutely. It's about recognizing that families at all income levels face challenges.
And that everyone deserves a chance to thrive.
Exactly.
So what can our listeners do to stay informed and get ready for these potential changes?
Well, first and foremost, stay engaged with the news.
And follow the progress of this proposal.
And don't hesitate to reach out to qualified tax professionals.
Like the team at Demore Tax Service, LLC.
Absolutely. They can answer your questions and help you understand how this could affect your situation.
That's such a good point. Tax laws can be confusing.
They can be.
And having a trusted advisor can make all the difference.
For sure. At Demore Tax Service, LLC, we stay on top of all the latest changes.
So you can be confident you're getting the most accurate information.
Exactly. We're here to help you navigate the complexities of taxes and make informed decisions for your family.
So as we wrap up this part of our deep dive,
take a moment to reflect on what we've talked about today.
what are your biggest takeaways?
What sparked your curiosity?
What questions are still swirling around in your head?
Maybe you're wondering about those specific eligibility requirements,
or how this might change your overall tax strategy.
whatever your questions or thoughts are.
Don't hesitate to reach out to Demore Tax Service LLC,
They have a wealth of knowledge and experience.
and they're ready to help you understand this proposal and make the best choices for your family's financial future.
You can visit their website at demoretaxservice.com to learn more.
And connect with their team.
Remember, knowledge is power.
And when it comes to taxes, having the right information can make all the difference.
So stay informed, stay curious, and stay engaged.
Your financial well-being is worth it.
And Demore Tax Service LLC is here to help you achieve your goals.
Welcome back to Let's Talk Taxes. I hope this deep dive into the proposed child tax credit boost has been helpful so far.
Yeah, we've covered a lot of ground.
We've talked about those potential benefits
Addressed some concerns.
and even looked at how those monthly payments could impact your budget.
It's a lot to take in.
It is, and we've really tried to emphasize the importance of staying informed
Absolutely.
and making your voice heard.
As this proposal moves through Congress.
It's a process that can feel a little overwhelming,
Oh, for sure.
but it's so important to remember, you don't have to go through this alone.
That's why we're so glad to have the experts from Demore Tax Service LLC with us today.
Absolutely. They're a fantastic resource for anyone who wants to really understand how this could affect them personally,
Exactly, whether you have questions about eligibility
or how to claim the credit.
or how this might change your overall tax strategy.
The team at Demore Tax Service LLC is ready to help,
They can break things down in a way that makes sense.
provide personalized advice,
And make sure you're taking advantage of all the benefits available to you,
and they stay up to date on all the latest developments.
so you can be confident you're getting the best guidance.
So as we wrap up this deep dive, I want to bring it back to you, our listener.
What are your big takeaways?
What sparked your interest?
What questions are still on your mind?
Maybe you're wondering about those specific income limits for eligibility.
Or how those changes to payroll taxes will actually work?
Or maybe you're thinking about how those monthly payments could help you reach your financial goals.
Or just ease some of that financial stress you might be feeling?
Whatever your questions or thoughts might be, don't hesitate to reach out to Demore Tax Service LLC
They're there to provide clarity and support.
every step of the way.
You can visit their website at demoretaxservice.com to learn more and connect with their team.
Remember, knowledge is power.
And when it comes to taxes, having the right information can make all the difference.
So stay informed, stay curious, and stay engaged.
Your financial well-being is worth it.
And Demore Tax Service LLC is here to help you achieve your goals.
Thanks for listening to Let's Talk Taxes podcast.
We'll catch you on our next deep dive.